Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. New funding for a 600-seat secondary school in Chilliwack is announced. Progress being made on a new state-of-the-art gondola previously announced for Chilliwack this past summer. Are rumors of our local MP vying for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada sheer nonsense? And courage is recognized. Merry Christmas and thanks for watching. We're committed to providing local news and news that impacts our local audience from Harrison to Garrison, Greendale to Hope, and everywhere in between, including Fairfield Island, Little Mountain, Promontory, the Eastern Hillsides, Chilliwack Mountain, Yarrow, and Cultus Lake. And this week, we're also pleased to welcome Jordon Fernandez as our guest anchor this week. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Christmas came early to the Chilliwack School District. Victoria is providing over $15 million for a new 600-seat secondary school at the former University of Fraser Valley North campus. In addition, construction is ready to begin on the new $53 million Southside Elementary and Middle School. That'll sit along the Vedder River with a capacity of 930 students. The details were made public at A.D. Rundle Middle School, next door to the new school, Old UFE North Campus. The UFE North Campus will go through a retrofit. That will open in 2021. The Southside School should be open by 2022.
Back in June, business leaders, politicians, and media heard a presentation from Jason Faulkner, the man behind the Sea to Sky gondola and the visionary who wants to build something even bigger and better at Bridal Falls, a gondola. This plan has an ambitious timeline, and should all the necessary permits and agreements be in place, shovels could be in the ground as early as the summer of 2020, with an opening by the summer of 2021. The Bridal Falls Gondola Corporation has applied to add an additional parcel of Crown land to their existing investigative use license. Comments closed January 28th.
This was the most difficult decision I've ever had to make. I have announced my intention to step down as the leader of the Conservative Party once a new leader is elected. I am putting my party first and my family first. And with that statement on social media, the speculation over the future of Conservative leader Andrew Scheer is complete. He could not deliver a Conservative majority, let alone any government, to replace Justin Trudeau's Liberals back in October. Questions over spending by the Conservatives for his kids in private school filled social media. Note that nothing was done illegally. However, the old political saying of optics are everything is in play. Locally, Chilliwack Hope MP Mark Strahl was very quick to respond to chillTV's question, will you be running for the leadership? His answer, a flat no.
A local hero injured while attempting to rescue a disabled pedestrian has received the Carnegie Hero Fund Award. It was presented to Julie Callahan of Chilliwack by Carnegie Hero Fund Commission President Eric Zarin during a ceremony hosted by the RCMP. The award recognizes her incredible courage. In 2018, at a Broadway Street railway crossing, as the crossing arms closed to stop traffic for an approaching train, Callahan and another valiant motorist scrambled onto the track in an attempt to remove the wheelchair from the path of the locomotive. The rescuers continued their efforts until the engine of the closing locomotive collided with them. The pedestrian suffered fatal injuries, while Callahan sustained serious injuries to her legs and life-altering damage to her right hand. And when we return, help desperately needed for a Chilliwack mother.
A Chilliwack mom just can't get a break. Michelle Paquette is a solo mom to 3 adult children, a 6-year-old son with autism, a 1-year-old daughter, and 7-month-old twins. One of the twins, Ellie, had a SIDS episode at 3 weeks of age and now has severe brain damage. Michelle was recently evicted from her home because she can't make her rent and pay all the other bills, and with the added cost of traveling from Chilliwack to BC Hospital weekly for appointments for Ellie. Insult to injury, the transmission in her van has blown. So right now, Christmas is a nightmare. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help with the bills, the medical expenses, and hopefully a new van. The GoFundMe page is listed as a new van for Christmas.
In this day and age, one could easily assume that live streaming of council meetings is a foregone conclusion. It's done in Chilliwack and Abbotsford City Council and the Chilliwack School Board. Now Harrison Council is looking at the option. There's always the danger of either councillors or presenters playing to the camera. Just watch the House of Commons or BC Legislature for that. Harrison Council Mickey Vidal ironically took to social media to announce that Council requested that staff research and report back to Council on the logistics and, an important point, the associated costs.
Getting off the trails from a bike and onto the bus with your bike will soon be a reality. This month, BC Transit will start phasing in new bike racks to accommodate bikes with tires up to 3 inches or 75 millimeters wide. This applies for all BC Transit routes across the province and in the valley. And for years, the FVRD has been advocating for more bike lanes and bike access on the buses.
Laura Carter and her team at Chilliwack-based Carter Hearing are heading to Indonesia in February. These global sound angels will travel to Indonesia to provide free hearing tests and to give away hearing aids to people that could never afford them. All Carter Hearing locations are also now accepting donations of used hearing aids to resalvage. Old hearing aids traded in will be taken on the Indonesia medical missions trip to help transform the lives of the hearing impaired through better hearing. Carter Hearing have locations in Chilliwack, Agassiz, Hope, Princeton, and Lillooet. It's sad when local media outlets or any media in general has to shut down, but that is the case for the magazine Neighbours of Garrison Crossing. The final issue will be arriving in January. They just couldn't find anyone to take on the role of publisher locally, and they couldn't afford to keep publishing it without advertisers to pay for it. Local entrepreneur Glinda Standeven took to social media to thank everyone involved with the monthly publication. Quote, "I hope you've enjoyed reading it over the years, and I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has submitted their stories, shared their pet photos, and sent me their lovely pictures to share in the magazine. It was definitely your magazine, and I was thrilled to be part of this neighborhood." And now, Don with the sports.
chillTV Sports, the BC Lions have released their 2020 schedule, and the emphasis is on family-friendly weekend kickoffs. Lions president Rick Scheer says having 6 Saturdays with a couple of them being 4 p.m. kickoff times will be important, quote, as we continue to emphasize attracting families to our games. Set to begin its 5th season as the National Premier Professional Bull Riding Series, PBR, the Professional Bull Riders of Canada, and their nationally televised Monster Energy Tour will visit 10 cities and 7 provinces in 2020. That will include the return to the Abbotsford Centre on October 17th. Details can be found on the Abbotsford Centre website. Chilliwack Chiefs announcing that Chiefs forward Ethan Bowen has been named to the roster for the CJHL Top Prospects game, which will be played January 14th at the Dave Andrechuk Arena in Hamilton. This prestigious event will host the top 40 ranked CJHL prospects for the 2020 NHL Draft that'll be held June 26th and 27th in Montreal. And this just in, Chilliwack Community Services confirming they received 521 donations for their annual toque, scarf, mitten, and teddy bear toss last weekend. So way to go, Chiefs fans. They want to thank everyone for supporting the CCS Christmas Sharing Program. And when we return, will this be, do I sing this? A white Christmas. chillTV weather, it doesn't look like a white Christmas is coming. It will be wet for the next few days and highs around 7. We'd like to thank our guest anchor this week, Jordon Fernandez. Jordon, you're with Rotaract. There's a difference between Rotaract and Rotary, so what is the difference?
So the difference is Rotaract is especially targeting young adults and young professionals between the ages of 18 and 30, although we can go beyond that if we want. Now, with this Rotaract Club that I'm a part of, we're very active in our community, just like Rotary, and we're trying to help make the community a better place, as well as the world around us. So we've done a couple fundraisers over Christmas Now there's 12 days of Christmas, but we weren't really able to fit all 12 days
Okay.
into our schedule. So we're going with 6 days of giving, and within each day we're actually doing some sort of fundraiser in order to help the community or the world at large. So we helped a project in Venezuela, and just recently we've been helping out with some of the food hampers, with some of the Christmas hampers that are going around in the community as well.
Great. Now, to get a hold of more information, is there a website or is there some other social
We
media?
are very active on Instagram, actually. So if you look us up, Chilliwack-Fraser Rotaract on Instagram, you'll be able to find us. If you're very curious on what we do, or if you'd like to just say hi and see what it's all about, please feel free to send us a message and we'll get back to you, and let's try and meet up for coffee or something.
Great stuff, Jordon. Thank you. If you would like to share the spotlight like Jordon, and if you've never been on camera before, it's all right. Just send us a note to news@chilltv.ca with your CV, and if you have it, links to your video. And if there's something in Chilliwack in the Eastern Fraser Valley you feel we should be reporting on, again, send us an email to the same address, news@chilltv.ca. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn, and Merry Christmas to you and your family from everyone here at ChillTV.